Hey, welcome back to the channel. Got a quick video on a 2018 GMC Sierra with a 6.6 Duramax diesel. Gonna show you how to change the oil and filter. So first go ahead and pop your hood here. Then with your hood popped, over here towards the driver's side firewall, you'll see your oil fill cap here. Go ahead and pull that off. Okay, so then go ahead and crawl underneath the truck here. This is going to be a drain pan, of course. And this truck was just brought over to me, so it is warm, the oil. So it's going to flow out better. And you got a 15 millimeter drain plug here, which we'll need to pull. And then make sure you have a container to collect it in that can hold at least 10 quarts of oil. And then what I like to do, I like to just stuff a rag under here, because once it starts getting towards the end, the oil likes to drip down onto this cross member, and then also it'll drip down onto this skid plate here. So I kind of like to just do that. So go ahead and grab your 15 millimeter and let's go ahead and pull this drain plug off of here. And we'll go ahead and let that drain. And so as you can see, as that starts to get towards the end, you can see how it wants to just drip all over this cross member. That's why I stuffed the rags down in there. So go ahead and let that drain a little more. And if your pan's big enough, I'll go ahead and move it over just a little bit so we can get the oil filter out of there. Okay, so then move on to your oil filter here. And you can see it's kind of up in there, and then anytime you unscrew that, it's going to drip oil all over this. So what I like to do, just take a piece of cardboard and you can kind of bend it a little bit. And I like to just get it up kind of underneath there, almost like a little funnel, so that comes down into the pan here, so you don't get all that oil all over the frame and everything. So now let's see if I can get this off by hand. So go ahead and unscrew that. Once you get that loose, slowly turn it here. And you can see that just collects on the cardboard and doesn't make a huge mess here. Go ahead and pull that off the rest of the way. So kind of like that. So then grab your new oil filter. So I just went with the original AC Delco PF2232. Open that up, and then take you some fresh motor oil. Just dip your finger in here and just kind of coat this O-ring with it. Get that lubed up. And then you can go ahead and wipe off that gasket surface up here on your oil filter housing. Get that kind of cleaned. So kind of like that. Grab your new oil filter and let's go ahead and screw this on. And then you'll just want to go hand tight on this oil filter. So like that. And then you go ahead and get your piece of cardboard out of here. So then go ahead and grab your drain plug and go ahead and screw that in. Get your 15 millimeter and go ahead and tighten that up. And I just go pretty snug. Just make sure you don't over tighten it. And then you go ahead and pull out your rags here. You can see it still drips a little bit, but it's better than getting it all over the skid plate here and making a mess on your driveway. So just kind of wipe this up. Same with around your drain plug there. And let's go ahead and start filling. So before I go ahead and start filling here, you can see the oil fill cap recommends 15W40. But if you open up your owner's manual here and you turn to page 94, you can see they recommend 15W40. But you can also use 5W40 according to this chart here. So they recommend the 15W40 be used up to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you go up from there. The 5W40 they recommend if you live in an area that sees below zero quite a bit. And then you can see it goes all the way up to plus 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So you could use 5W40 all year long without any problems. But in the area we're at, it maybe reaches below zero a handful of times. And if it does, this guy I'm doing this for, he'll just plug in the block heater when it does. So we're gonna go ahead and use the original 15W40 in this truck. And then if you turn to page 132, you can see there the 6.6, and it's going to take right at 10 quarts of oil. So what I'll be using is this Mobile Delvac 15W40. I think this is what comes in the trucks from the factory, and this is a semi-synthetic oil. And I got the 2.5 gallon jug, which is exactly 10 quarts. So all you need to buy is this one jug, which makes it kind of nice. And I got this at Walmart. It was right at $35 plus $10 for the AC Delco oil filter from Walmart as well. So you're looking at only $45 to do a complete oil change on this truck. Whereas if you went to the dealership, I think they charge right at $100 or more to do this oil change. So definitely worth doing it yourself. So go ahead and grab yourself a funnel here. Get that stuck in there. Grab your oil, and the only part I don't like about the 2.5 gallon jug is it's kind of awkward. So go ahead and get that in here. And just be careful pouring that down in there. And then with your 10 quarts in there, go ahead and pull your funnel here. Stick your cap on there. So now let's go ahead and start it. Turn the key. And you can see our oil pressure gauge right there on the left. So go ahead and start it, and let's make sure the oil pressure rises. And you can see oil pressure looks good. So let's go ahead and check for leaks really quick. So just crawl underneath here, look at your oil filter and your plug, make sure nothing's leaking, and that looks good. And then you can go ahead and shut it off. And I'll let this sit a few minutes here, let that oil drain down into the pan, and then we'll check our level. So while we wait for that oil to drain back down into the pan so we can check our level, let's go ahead and reset the oil life light. So go ahead and turn your key. And then you can see hood open, dismiss all that. And then if you go scroll up, so go ahead and scroll up till you come to engine oil life. So right there you can see it says 0%. So go ahead and hold this check mark right here. And you hear it beep, and then now we're at 100%. Go back down, you can see 100% right there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check our level. Gave that a few minutes to drain down in the pan. And so with that being 15W40, it will take a little bit to get drained all the way back down in there. So locate your oil dipstick, which will be right here. Go ahead and pull that out. And just go ahead and wipe it first. And then stick it back down in there. Pull it out. And check your level here. So you can see right there, we are right at the top of the crosshairs. So we are perfect right there at 10 quarts. Okay, so that's going to do it for the video. Again, this was a 2018 GMC Sierra with a 6.6 Duramax diesel, and I went ahead and changed the oil and filter along with resetting the oil life light. Hopefully this video helps you out. If it does, why don't you hit that subscribe button, check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.